Hello, and thank you for taking the time to learn more about the Grant Tracking Quarterly Report. The Grant Tracking Quarterly Report is emailed to PIs on a quarterly basis and includes all of your active Ledger 5 accounts that you are listed as the lead PI for. These reports are a great resource as they provide the most current balances that are shown in the Wolfpack Reporting System, or WRS. Your post-award consultant, also known as the PAC, will prepare the report once F&A costs have been posted in WRS each month. This is to ensure all costs for the month are included. For example, July will close around the second week in August. Therefore, the financial reporting will begin after the second week of August using the July numbers. First, let's look at some examples of communications you may receive from your PAC. In this first example, the PAC's email includes the following important information: action items that are pending or need to be addressed by the PI and/or business coordinator, a brief summary of the report, and specific details in the attached spreadsheet. In this example, the PAC's email includes the following important information: closeout information for projects ending within 90, 60, or 30 days, action items that are pending or need to be addressed by the PI and/or business coordinator, a brief summary of the report, and specific details in the attached spreadsheet. Each quarterly report will include tabs along the bottom of your screen that provide the following information: a grant summary, which entails all active Ledger 5 accounts that you are the lead PI for, and a WRS report containing a P1 and/or P3 report or PI portal personnel details of the employees that are paid on your grant, as well as PI portal cost share details for employees that are cost shared on the project. The WRS tabs will show line-by-line details of the project's budget versus charges posted on your grant. Now, let's go through the different components of the spreadsheet. The first tab we will review is the Grant Summary tab. Following this tab, you can see each individual project has its own sheet and is labeled on the tabs across the bottom of the screen. At the top of the Grant Summary spreadsheet, you will see the As of date, indicating that the information and balances are as of the date listed here. This includes all costs posted from the grant start period through the As of date. The first several columns in the spreadsheet provide basic information related to your grant. In the first column, labeled Projects, you will see all active Ledger 5 projects that you are listed as the lead PI for. They are listed vertically with the grant detail information listed horizontally across your page. The projects are listed in order by project and end date. Projects that end closest to the closed month will be listed first, and so on. The second column, labeled Proposal Number, lists your proposal number for each project. The next column, labeled Sponsor, provides the sponsor's name and/or abbreviation for the organization. Now, moving to the right, the description column is the project's title. The next column to the right, labeled Project Start/End Date, will provide you not only the starting date of the project, but also the end date. Information for each project also comes directly from your Notice of Award, or NOA, as seen here in this example. The next column we will look at is the Budget Begin/End Date column. And this column provides the beginning date of your budget as well as the end date for the budget. The budget periods do not always match the project period. This is based on sponsor guidelines. The next column to the right is labeled Total Award including F&A. This column will provide you with the total amount of your award with the F&A amount. Now, moving to the right, the next field is labeled Total Direct Cost Budget. The total direct cost budget does not include F&A. This column is the amount you should focus on for spending purposes. The F&A will be calculated based on the cost charged to the project. The next column is labeled Project to Date Expenses, TDC line. Here, you will find the total direct costs, or TDC, total expenses to date, that have been charged to your project to date without F&A. To the right of that, you will find a column labeled Encumbrances. In this area, you will find all charges you have encumbered on your project as of the date listed on the top of the page. Some encumbrances may include, but are not limited to, salaries, supplies, or contract services. The next two columns labeled Budget Balance Available, TDC line, and Budget Note are very important, and you will find them highlighted in yellow. The first column, Budget Balance Available, will have information on what is currently available to spend on your project. If you see numbers in this field that are red and in parentheses, this means your account is overspent and cleanup is needed right away. If the numbers are in black, your project is still in the positive and funds are available. The Budget Note column will provide more information on the Budget Balance Available column. For example, a note such as overspent or underspent may be present. This is an extra note directing you to reference your balance. You will find the next column, Burn Rate, highlighted in peach. The burn rate is defined at the rate at which you are spending. This is calculated by the costs in excess of funds available. You will find a percentage out of 100 listed here. That percentage is your burn rate. The next column, PI Action Items, is in red to draw your attention to it. This column will provide a numbered list of action items to assist you with managing the project. You, as the PI, are responsible for working with your departmental business coordinator to make sure these action items are completed. Some examples of action items may include, but are not limited to, closeout notice details, adjustments for project cleanup, or NCE or budget modifications that may be necessary. These items may also include steps for the PI to follow to complete those tasks. As you may recall, your PIC's email will also note closeout notes as well as immediate action items that should be addressed by the project ID. An example is shown here. For the project listed on the first line, the PIC has listed 2 action items for the PI. The first action item is telling the PI that the salary distribution is overspent and offers suggestions to rectify the situation. The second action item is telling the PI that if an NCE or no cost extension request is needed, to notify their PIC. Now, let's look at a second example. As you can see here, the second row of the PI Action Items column shows 3 action items for the PI. In this project, the PIC is bringing to the PI's attention that there is a large salary balance remaining at the end of the project and offering a solution to correct the issue. More detailed information is available by clicking on the WRS tab at the bottom of the page for that specific project. The next column we will look at is Post-Award Details. This column provides specific details about the Ledger 5 account, including, but not limited to, committed cost share amounts, food cost exemption codes, equipment budgeted, and tag information, etc. The last column you will see is labeled Sponsor Notes/Guidelines. This column provides specific sponsor requirements, including, but not limited to, no-cost extension guidelines and due dates, modifications that will require written sponsor approval, reporting guidelines, and due dates. These guidelines can also be found in your grant agreement. At the bottom of the spreadsheet, you will see a closed project section. This section includes all projects with a completed closeout. These projects are still active in WRS. This may be due to cleanup that is needed on the project. For example, charges may hit the project after the end date and need to be moved off. Another reason could be the sponsor has not received the final PI report or the final financial report to send the final payment. If assistance is needed from the PI, the PAC will notify you. Now that we have reviewed the first tab of the Grant Tracking Report, let's look at the tabs that follow. As we've mentioned, each project will have its own individual tab located at the bottom of the page. This will provide you with specific line-by-line details on your active projects. You can view detailed information on each project by clicking on the individual tab. This is a great resource as it allows you as the PI to see specific financial details and descriptions regarding your project, where the grant summary page will provide an overall summary of your projects. When we click on the first tab for project 555XXX, the Wolf Report or WRS P1 report for the project will be shown. Please note that on each tab, the project ID is listed along with the WRS report that is provided. For example, WRS P1 555XXX. Now, if you scroll down the page, below the WRS P1 report, you will see personnel details from either the P3 report or the PI portal. This example has information coming from the personnel detail in the PI portal, and sensitive information has been redacted. Under this section, you will see a list of employees working on your project and costs associated with each employee as of the date listed on your grant summary page. If no personnel is working on the grant, then there will be no information in this area. As you continue to scroll down the page, below Personnel Details, you will find the Cost Share Details section for employees that are currently cost shared on your project. The information for this example was also taken from the PI portal, and all sensitive information was redacted. We would like to thank you for taking the time to learn more about the grant tracking reports that you will receive. If you have any questions or need further assistance, please contact your post-award consultant directly or reach out to CALS Contracts and Grants by calling 919-513-1743 or emailing Contracts and Grants at cals_cgadmin@ncsu.edu.